It's like one can get the money, but how does one use the money? How does the one manage the money to scale, to grow, to develop? As well as, I think it's really more so the focus is on that social side of that. There's a lack of social capital, there's a lack of social networks to grow these things. A lot of people are looking at a very one-sided issue, like, oh, Black entrepreneurs are not getting funding, but it's more than that. It's a whole piece. So how do we look at it from a very holistic view to support them? And I think the only really term that really captures that is that community economic development. There is a lack of innovation hubs in the Northwest side, and we have a lot of raw talent on the entrepreneurship side and the professional side. Historically, yes, has been a low income area, but also it's been disconnected from the rest of the city just through public transportation. And not a lot of resources have been pumped throughout the years into these said communities.
I think about, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where at the bottom you have like food, basic security, housing, and at the top of it you have, transcendence, where you're just kind of trying to think big picture. I feel like without access to stable housing, when I think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you're finding entrepreneurs that aren't able to be in that place of, really pouring into their business because they're trying to survive.
When it just comes to when we're talking to our entrepreneurs in our programs, a lot of different barriers they've been talking about, and the large majority of them has been coming up, not only finance, but it was housing. So BEA, we're good at system navigation. So we have hands-on training, we have industry mentorship, industry coaching. We subsidize some of the fractional services that might be expensive for entrepreneurs, so that's legal, strategic, pitch development work. But you need more than programming. You need a physical structure to house it, so people could see it, right?
When you provide something like this, that the principle is growing in place, right? Stimulating the actual neighborhood rather than bringing outside factors in. So you're growing within, so it can actually help prevent displacement.
I think places like the BEA are hubs to ultimately help people have the tools they need to grow and kind of bridge the gap between some of the steps they might not have as a result of the systemic barriers that allow communities like ours to thrive. I think especially if you come from places where you may not have that generational wealth, it's important to have grants that especially identify the most vulnerable to, find ways to, help them have a shot at, making something too. I'm very grateful to have grown up there. It was the kind of thing though, once I went away for school and started to hear how people spoke about the community, that was probably one of the first times I started to realize a lot of the stigma and negative perception that can come. Because for me, I found that I had my brothers, I had my dukes, I had my parents to support me, I had a lot of community I found. I had my outlets, especially in the form of going to my basketball court to kind of play and have that kind of stress reliever.
Well, your network is actually your net worth. I know that sounds super cliche, but getting out in the business world, it is how good you are, but it's also who you know. So me opening those spaces for myself, I bring people to private dinners with me that I get invited to because I know that that's a space they would like to be into. But that's just me getting my foot in the door for another entrepreneur. And if we keep doing that, we can kind of disrupt a bunch of spaces. Whenever Yace invites me to speak to the youth, I tell them to just try, to just give it a go. I was sitting exactly where they were. I was with the program when it first started. I don't come from money at all, and I'm in the premium business now, and I'm in the luxury space. So that's a really, really big thing, is just leaning in it and showing people that from different communities that there is a space for them and that they can just start something, just start from an idea.
I think our mandate at BEA, as we shift from incubator initiative to now a regional economic development initiative, is really focusing on Northwest Toronto and how we create a new innovation engine for the city of Toronto as well as Ontario. And so once we clue in and tap in, we create better communities when everybody's fully participating in the economy.